Hi, my name is Daniel Dessen. For my video presentation in PSY 86506, Psychopathology, I decided to choose Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, or OCD, as the disorder that I will be exploring. The reason I picked the disorder, just because of my interest in it. I had seen this disorder in people, in movies, in television, and I just wanted to understand more about it. I think there's a stigma about those with OCD, even though it's quite commonly known. So I just wanted to learn a few things that might change my opinions about it. Here are the diagnostic criteria for OCD. You have to have obsessions, compulsions, or both in the individual. Obsessions are recurrent thoughts or urges that cause the anxiety or distress, and they are unwanted. The individual who has OCD attempts to ignore or suppress those thoughts by performing a different thought or action called a compulsion. Compulsions are repetitive behaviors or thoughts that person feels they must perform in response to obsessions. These acts are meant to reduce anxiety or distress or prevent something horrible from happening, but they are generally not very realistically connected. The obsessions or compulsions are time consuming. They cause significant impairment to a certain area of functioning. They are not related to any substance abuse or medical conditions. And lastly, the behavior cannot be better explained by the use or the symptoms of another mental disorder. The assessment strategies to support a diagnosis in OCD. Well, the assessment tool that I have found most popular within my research is the Yale-Brown Obsessive Compulsive Scale, or shortened to the YBOCS. The point of this assessment is to test the severity of OCD symptoms. Given that it is probably the foremost assessment for OCD, I think that it would be very useful in supporting a diagnosis. Some evidence-based treatments for OCD. Cognitive behavioral therapy is the most empirically supported treatment for OCD. There are two forms of CBT, or cognitive behavioral therapy, that have been found to be the most effective for OCD. These two are usually used in unison. They are exposure and response prevention and cognitive therapy. Exposure and response prevention focuses on provoking the situations that create their compulsive behaviors in people with OCD and facing those situations head on. Cognitive therapy is, on the other hand, focused on attacking the irrational thoughts that lead to the individual's compulsions. I've actually learned a lot through researching this disorder and developing this outline. I didn't think that I didn't have as much of an understanding about this disorder as I thought I did. I think that I would probably be able to recognize this disorder more effectively in the future, possibly in a future career. I didn't have much previous knowledge about how OCD was treated, especially the use of exposure and response prevention along with cognitive therapy. I didn't know those were really used in unison, so that was an interesting piece of knowledge for me also. Overall, I'm probably more fascinated with this disorder than I was before, and I'll be looking into it again, and I look forward to working with it someday.